Ezra Matthew Miller is an American actor born on September 30th of 1992 in Wyckoff, New Jersey. His road to stardom began with his feature in the 2008 film series Afterschool. Despite some of his best performances coming on the big screen, bagging an Oscar in the process, Ezra is more infamous for his antics off the stage. The actor had allegations of forming a sex cult, grooming and brainwashing a Native American formerly underaged teen, and wildly inappropriate actions with an 11-year-old. How did it all begin for the bad boy of Hollywood? And what does he think the reason is behind such irrational behavior? In 2011, 3 years into showbiz and in the midst of filming The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Miller was pulled over in Pittsburgh by the police for a broken brake line. A thorough search of the vehicle revealed 20 grams of marijuana in Miller's possession. Though initially charged with drug possession, Miller was let off by the judge for a penalty of $600 for 2 cases of disorderly conduct. And later, he had rebuffed the entire incident, calling it normal for him to smoke weed, as it supposedly improved his sensory appreciation. He was also caught and condemned for smoking marijuana in front of children in rooms without proper ventilation. That's just wrong. A waitress revealed the harrowing incident of him using his arms as a fan to allow more of the smoke to go towards the children. In January of 2022, Ezra Miller delivered a cryptic threat message to the Ku Klux Klan, a rogue white supremacist organization in the U.S. He'd apparently warned the members to continue their racist movements or face death for worthlessness. On April 6 of 2020, a video did rounds on the internet taken from a deleted tweet that showed Miller strangling a woman and plunging her to the ground. The video was fact-checked by Variety to have taken place at Prikio Cafe House, a bar in Reykjavik where Miller used to frequent if he was in town. A bar employee had later confirmed the person in the video was Miller, who was escorted off the premises by security staff after the incident. On March 28th of 2022, nearly 2 years after this video of his assault in the bar, Miller was again arrested, this time in Hawaii following a physical altercation with the patrons. He's said to have hurled obscenities at the clients at a karaoke bar as the karaoke didn't please him, and was convicted of disorderly conduct and harassment. The same month, he had a restraining order filed against him by 2 Hilo residents who claimed that Miller had allegedly barged into their home at night and threatened to kill them. He also stole several valuables, including a social security card, jewelry, passports, and bank cards. 3 weeks later, on April 19th of 2022, Miller was charged with second-degree assault by the Leilani Estates Subdivision Police Authorities in Pahoa. He was responsible for throwing a chair in a fit of anger that injured a 26-year-old woman and left a half-inch scar across her forehead. After being told to leave during a private get-together, Miller was arrested, although less than 20 minutes later he pleaded not guilty to the karaoke incident and was fined $500 for disorderly conduct by Judge Kanani Laubach. He, during a month-long stay in Hawaii, had over 10 cases registered to the police ranging from assaults to burglary and several restraining orders. Now, the controversies against Miller began coming in thick and fast, as barely a month later in June 2022, the Standing Rock Sioux Tribal Court issued an order of protection against him on behalf of an 18-year-old activist, Tokoda Iron Eyes. The order was requested by her parents because of Miller's appliance of violence, intimidation, fear, paranoia, delusions, and drugs to hold sway over their daughter. The relationship between Miller and Iron Eyes stretched back to 2016, when Iron Eyes was 12. Her dropping out of school in 2021 convinced her parents of the negative influence that Miller was playing in her life. He'd also physically assaulted her, as evident from many bruises on her body, and he also manipulated her text and video responses on Instagram. In August, Miller's former music collaborator Oliver Ignatius revealed that he had witnessed Iron Eyes being verbally abused by Miller over her makeup. Though all the claims were rubbished by the girl herself, her parents pursued on with the case, countering their daughter's statements by saying that Miller controlled her every movement and thought. On June 16th of 2022, a mother and her 12-year-old child from Massachusetts were granted a harassment prevention order against Miller after they complained about him. He had supposedly threatened the woman's family during a bizarre, sudden visit to their home clad in a bulletproof vest and brandishing a gun. The woman also accused him of displaying inappropriate behavior towards their daughter by touching her thighs. On August 7th of 2022, Miller was again in custody, this time charged with felony burglary in Stamford, Vermont. He had broken into a private home and stolen bottles of alcohol back in May of the same year, according to Vermont State Police records. He was identified via video surveillance footage and is due to be arraigned in court on September 26th of 2022. Ezra has categorically apologized for his behavior in recent terms. On August 15th of 2022, A representative of Miller released a statement that Miller's uncalculated past behavior was exacerbated due to a time of intense crisis and side effects of treatment for complex mental health issues. Miller is said to have confirmed the statement, attributing his unbalanced behavior to his deranged mental condition. Nonetheless, he did manage to become the rich bad boy of Hollywood for at least a time being. Although, based on everything I've heard today, I can't speak for you, but I am thoroughly glad if that time has come to an end.